Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast Shawn does. I'm Shawn that does the podcast, and this is my podcast. Thank you all for joining in today, checking out my podcast. We'll kind of catch up a little bit, and you'll know what's been going on in my life. I would love to hear from you guys, know what's been going on in yours. Eventually, that I would like to hear from you guys is going to actually hold some weight. It won't be just me talking to 10 people. I expect this to get to a good amount. I expect to gain a following once I actually start getting serious about it. Let's just be completely honest. I don't produce enough to where I could get that following. I just need to be a little bit more consistent, which I'm working on. You guys that are bearing with me, thank you for that. But yeah, with me, I have just been a father. I've been a father, been here with the kids. I started a new job. I'm not in the, well, if you know anything about HEB, I'm not in the stores anymore. I'm now actually, I'm now actually in the warehouse. And it was the greatest move I could have ever made. Store wise, I accomplished everything that I was going to accomplish. Uh, I was a lead up front in the front end with the cashiers and everything. I was a specialist in market. I couldn't get up to the cutting position in market. I was looking at management, but there were so many roadblocks. I never saw that happening. Um, I did receiving, pause. I did basically everything you could do in the store, and I did the manager in charge position. I did everything you could do. So I just felt it was time for a change, and that change came in the form of quality assurance. So now I'm in the quality assurance department, and it's my actual title is meat procurement quality inspector one. I haven't got to quality inspector two yet. I'm still in training. Training is 8 months for us, and it is the greatest thing I could have done. I work 10-hour days. I'm at work at 6. I'm off at 4. I work 4 days. I'm off 3. Instead of being at the stores where you don't know your hours, your manager can mess up on the schedule every week, and yeah, it's you know your schedule 3 weeks in advance. You got a 3 week you get a 3 week schedule instead of your weekly schedule that you get in the stores. It's a little bit more flexible where I'm at now. And I didn't know it applying for this position, but it's actually a corporate position. And I was pretty shocked when I was on the phone with our customer service, well, not customer service, our partner services, and I was asked, was it a corporate position? And I said no, and my manager said, yes, this is actually a corporate position. I was like, oh man, shit, I'm in corporate now. That's crazy. Who would have thought that I would make it to corporate out of all the stuff that, everything that happened in the stores? Who would have thought like my landing point would be in a corporate position? It's still wild to me. But yeah, that's where I've been. As far as what I do, and I guess I could tell you about what I do. As far as what I do job wise, we inspect quality insurance. You're going to inspect the meats. You inspect cheeses, anything that comes in really. You're gonna so people. It is so hard to explain to people that we're not the ones making the pallets, sending them out. We only inspect the pallets and check the product inside. So I'm just gonna walk through an audit. So we grab a pallet. So we mark pallets that we personally do for the QA department. So we mark pallets, and those pallets come to our section. We have a totally different section from everybody in the warehouse. We're kind of secluded in our own area. So we get our pallet. You bring it over. You get your slot number. You type that in. You type in how much is in the box. You check the temperature. You check the weights. You're gonna check to see if there are any defects. Let's say we're doing a strip loin. You're gonna check to see the fat. You're gonna check and see how long the tail is. Briskets. You're checking bag tails. Like it's things like that. It's a. It sounds like a simple job, but there's a lot that goes into it. And I haven't even gotten to like the meat plant yet. And pause. The meat plant or our combo area, which is like cheeses, hot dogs, things like that. I haven't even traveled over there yet. Right now, he wants us to learn seafood and things like that. Seafood and briskets, all types of meats, basically anything you get in your market. So right now, that's what I'm learning. Within the next few months, I'll be over learning the meat plan and learning the combo section. So it's pretty exciting to start something new because I was in the stores for 10 years and what no more than it was 11 now that I'm thinking about it. I was in the stores for 11 years. It was just time for a change. So that came in the form of the quality assurance. I really appreciate everything that's been going on with me. I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, that's what's been going on with me. How is everybody else doing? Let's get to the podcast. I actually made an intro beat for my podcast now. So if you heard that at the beginning, that is now the intro beat for this podcast. So we're making some progression. We're getting there. We're getting there. So now let's get to the topic and what we should be talking about today. So the one thing that I want to talk about is changes today. A lot of people are scared to make changes because they don't know if it's going to work out in their favor. They cast that doubt amongst themselves before they even start. And I was one of those people, actually. Like, I did not want to take this quality assurance position, but I'm not going to say who told me to take this QA position, but he knows who. I was being told that it's way better than working in the stores hour wise. If you have small children, it's easier for you to spend more time with them. But I was just so stuck in where I was at that I wasn't hearing it. Like I could have been in this position a few months before, but I just wasn't listening. And the wild thing about it is I was told in the stores that, hey, you could start working up to management. You can complete these tasks and you'll be considered management or you'll be considered into management. But okay, so I did all of that as far as in our market. I did that and I was still told that no, you can't even look at management until you're a cutter. So I tried to get into cutting and it's just a bunch of roadblocks and I'm told that our trainer he isn't around. He doesn't have any slots available. He doesn't have any time. So it just gets frustrating and you get tired of waiting. Like you get tired of getting the runaround all the time. So what I did was I actually took him up on the offer and I applied for the position in quality assurance. So I apply for the position. I do my interview. There's these guys. So we have three warehouses that have quality assurance. We have the San Antonio, Houston, and Temple. That's all in Texas. So we have all those people that do quality assurance. So I was doing interviews with all three managers at the same time. It was a Zoom call. So I was sitting in front of my computer, and it just feels weird when you're doing a Zoom call because you're sitting in front of your computer, like you have a decent shirt on, you have a dress shirt on, but you can literally wear anything. I had on basketball shorts. I might have had on like some socks with some holes in it. Like I just was just wearing anything. As long as the top looked presentable, I was good. So I did the interview with them. They told me not to worry if I don't get the position because a lot of people don't get the position their first time trying, their first time. So that already cast the doubt in my mind that I didn't get it. But I waited about 2, 3 weeks and I got the call that I got the position. So that was game changer for me because I didn't see myself going anywhere else in the store. And once I got to QA, it was totally different for me as far as the hours, being by yourself a little bit more, being a little more independent, actually enjoying going to work, loving the people that you're around. Like it's great. Like I love my team. I love the guys that I work with. They're amazing men. They're great. They're always willing to help, teach, anything. So me getting out of me getting out of the stores actually helped me as far as my mood, as far as spending more time with my family, as far as me just having a different sense of work because I was ready to leave HEB if I'm being completely honest. Like I didn't know if it was for me anymore because I already did everything that I felt like I capped out. You should never put a cap on anything you do, but I already felt like I capped out with HEB in the stores, and I didn't know if the warehouse was the way for me to go. So me taking that risk, yeah, as far as just being happy, I needed that change. That's what I'm getting back to. Sometimes it's good to actually go after that change, and you never know. Like maybe it doesn't work, but thankfully this worked for me, and I'm very appreciative of this opportunity that I'm at right now. So another thing is just me being a parent. That was another change. I had to come in. Jesse was 7 months, and I had to learn everything from how to make a bottle to how to burp him, how to put him to sleep, how to change a pamper, uh, how to be with kids. Just it was a lot. It was a lot to learn, and I was coming from a relationship where the person she didn't want kids, and we broke up, and me and Amanda get together, and she already has a 7 month old. I remember our first date. She told me that she said that she had a 7 month old son, and I was like, oh okay. I didn't want her to know that I already scoped her Instagram and I already knew everything that she was about to tell me. I just had to act surprised, like I didn't know anything. So yeah, I've already told her that, but she told me that she had a 7 month old or 6 month old at the time, and I was like, oh okay, I would like to meet him. So that day I go and meet Jesse, and ever since that day I haven't missed a day with Jesse. Like I've literally seen Jesse every day since me and Amanda went on that first date. I've literally been the constant in his life. The constant so much that every morning that I'm off, I'm up with Jesse. We're up playing Toy Story. We're up eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I'm giving him PB and J and chips in the morning. I know it's not the healthiest thing, but hey, he's eating. I'm sorry. He's a very picky eater, so I mean, if I can get him to eat, that's a win. So I had to learn all of that just growing like with the kid. So he's 3 now, and I can't imagine my life without him. That was a big change for me. It was dating someone with a child and loving the child. That's a huge change. A lot of guys don't talk about that, but a lot of guys don't take on that responsibility because a lot of guys' stance is that's not my child. Like, yeah, it might not be your child, but if you're dating this woman, you should at least try to have a relationship with the child. You don't have to, if you don't feel like you need to be in that kid's life, I guarantee you that's going to hold some kind of weight with the mom and it's not going to work out for y'all. If you really like this person, you would try with the kid. That's just me. That's just me though. I'm different. So once Autumn came in, then I had to learn how to be with a girl. Then I had to learn how to be with a newborn. So Autumn was in the NICU for the first 4 days, I want to say. So I'm back and forth at the NICU, having to bring breast milk that they didn't even use at the hospital. They were giving her formula, and Autumn's been breast milk ever since. But that's beyond the point. So learning how to be a parent is another change that I had to learn, and I feel like I've stepped up to the plate on that. I feel like my kids, they respect me. Well, besides Autumn not really listening to anything I say, but I mean it comes with the growing pains, right? So last but not least, the thing that I have learned in change is you're gonna have to let some people go. You don't have to give an explanation. You you just focus on your peace. You focus on what matters the most in your life. You can't baby everybody around you. You can't make sure everyone is good if the people that you love the most aren't. Because if you're out there making sure everybody around you is doing good, that really don't check on you, don't care about your family, don't care what's going on in your life. If you're making sure that they're good, but you're not taking care of home, that's going to affect home. That's going to affect your kids. It's going to affect how you talk to your kids. You're going to be angry with your kids. You're just not going to be yourself if you're not focusing on that. You can't live a double life. You got to focus on what matters the most in your life. The crazy thing about it is, recently I've had to do that, and I've cut off a lot of people. I don't know if they know because I just kind of just up and left, but I mean, I wish nothing but the best for everybody. I even wish the best for people that have done me wrong. I don't have any doubt that, or not any doubt, any problems with anybody. I don't wish bad on anybody. I want everybody to succeed, but just not around me. You can succeed over there. I can cheer from afar. If you haven't proven that you're going to be around me, you haven't proven that you're going to be around my family, you're going to actually make the efforts like you do for others, I'm not going to baby you. I'm not going to make sure that you're good. I'm not going to keep checking and getting my feelings hurt when something doesn't go the way I thought it would. So I don't care if it's family, friends, whatever it is. If you really want to change, you got to change a lot of things with the people around you. That's the sad fact about it, but I mean, hey, it's life. We all got to grow, right? So thank you for listening to my podcast, and I really appreciate everything that you guys do for me. A lot of you have reached out and asked where the podcast is. Well, here it is today. Thank you all for uh, putting that battery in my back to get back and do this. I'm not even going to promise y'all anything because every time I do that, you don't hear from me for like a month. So I'm not going to promise anything, but all I got to say is thank you guys and stay solid. I appreciate it. Uh, until next time.